So there's a very interesting theory out there that I want to share with you. And the theory says this: you've got about 5 years left to get rich. Because once AI gets good enough to where anyone can make anything, if you don't own some part of that future, you'll never own anything at all. You'll be permanently stuck at whatever economic level you are at today. Now, Elon Musk actually talked about this future a lot, and he thinks there's two possible outcomes.
Do you think it's going to be some sort of a universal basic income thing? Do you think there's going to be some other kind of solution that has to be implemented?
Working will be optional because you'll have robots plus AI, and we'll have, in a benign scenario, universal high income, not just universal basic income.
The first outcome is the benign or good one, which says that if that were to happen, don't worry, money might not even exist. Robots will just do our jobs for us. Now, the second outcome, though, is not so good, which is this continuation of what we're starting to see, which is a K-shaped economy where the poor get poorer and the rich get richer, and AI draws the line through that dynamic, which will forever freeze whatever place people are in life right now. Now, it's kind of dark and depressing, but let's just assume that that's actually going to happen. What would that even look like? Well, it might look like what we're kind of seeing right now. The markets would start to go to all-time highs across the board. Stocks, aka the S&P 500, would hit an all-time high. The median age of first-time buyers would be at an all-time high. Gold would go to an all-time high thanks to countries like China and the US buying it and storing it as a possible alternative to the US dollar. Silver would also go to an all-time high. And not just the metals, but all commodities across the board. Even debt like government debt, corporate debt, household debt would go to an all-time high. And it's kind of interesting to ask, why is that happening right now? Is there going to be some global conflict like World War III? Maybe. Is it an AI bubble and everything's about to crash? Maybe. Obviously, no one knows the truth, so I'm not going to sit here and make predictions about the crashes or the bubbles or the end of the world. Instead, I want to do something a little bit more interesting. I'm going to give you a high-level explanation of one of the most interesting experiments of money and what money could look like in 5 years' time. It's this experiment of running a global debt-based world with constant money printing at the same time that AI takes away the room people used to have to build something new. Now, this is super nerdy stuff, but it's the kind of nerdy stuff that I think is super fun. So with that said, let's get into it. Hi, my name is Andre Jick. Hope you're doing well. Come for the...
All right, that was a TikTok. I don't know why they left us on a cliffhanger, but I do think. All right, so he gave us two scenarios, right? One where it's like perfect and the robots just do everything and we're all good, and two, like the money rises but the robots take up the space that we used to have. But I feel like even in the perfect world where the robots are doing everything for us, those robots are gonna cost a lot. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be perfect like that. Even in the perfect idea that we have of the best, you know, like the best scenario, it still has so many issues where people will not flourish no matter what, and like everyone's in a struggle.
Good news! It now takes $400,000 a year to afford a two-child household. So if you want to nut and make it count, you better hold it in. Cause no fucking way you'll be able to afford a family anytime soon. And you know, it's really interesting because when you teach an entire generation that anything is possible with enough hard work, and then you proceed to build an economic system that is specifically rigged against the hardest working people on the fucking planet, tell me, how is widespread anxiety, depression, loneliness not a result of that? Can anyone tell me?
Just wait for the trickle? Wait for it to trickle down onto me, onto you, onto our body? Just wait? All right, bet.
Yeah, so I meant to play this TikTok last, but I clicked it. But anyways, I think it is crazy that Gen Z is like struggling the most, I'm not gonna lie, because everyone in a different generation sees Gen Z as like lazy and everything, but in reality, I feel like Gen Z works just as hard as any other generation. It's just the situation that they've been placed in is completely different. You know what I mean? Like they're struggling, and the cost of living and inflation, it's just all going down the hill. It's just not working out. You know what I mean? So then a lot of people lose motivation, and it just spirals. You know what I'm saying?
I'd say you only really have about until 2030 to build as much wealth and buy as much assets as you can as possible. Stuff going on in the background that you have no clue about because people are serious about unserious things and unserious about serious things. So starting April 1st of 2026, the Federal Reserve has lowered the enhanced supplementary leverage ratio for banks. What that means is the banks can take on more risk and lend a lot more money out. Now, why am I telling you this? The main reason why I'm telling you this is because remember in 2020 when things were easy and money was coming left and right? What if I told you all of that was manufactured? You is if you're not buying assets, your money is being debased. Being debased is your money is being rug pulled from under you. Value in your bank account does not change. But that same purchasing power that $1 is able to buy you buys you even less. I encourage you to study what is money and really prioritize buying assets. Because if you're not buying assets in these periods where money is easy to earn, because it's being printed left and right by banks and, governments are handing out stimulus checks, that's the time for you to buy assets and that's the time for you to invest.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If what so he said in April 2026, so that's next month for me. He said banks are gonna be allowed to give out more money and take on more risk. So I feel like that means a lot of people are gonna be able to like buy things that they can't actually afford, and then people are just gonna be trapped in debt and continuously like be stuck in debt. It's like college debt, or because like debts pile up. You know what I mean? People got college debts, they got car payments, they got their house payment or rent, like everything. Plus, some people use like Klarna, so you just like buy things you don't need, but you pay like over a course of a few months. Like that's very bad. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people do not have they don't have like a responsibility or maturity to like keep that up, and they just think short term and not long term, and they buy something short term, get a little happy, then long term they got to deal with the consequences of that, which is paying continuously over a few months. You know what I mean? So that's just something that's gonna mess a lot of people up. I feel like, or that's my take on it. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next video.